Hello and a warm welcome. You've joined us here on Market Cafe on ET Now. I'm Ashesha Advaryu, and first up, let's take a look at how US markets ended and turned out to be a very good session for Wall Street yesterday. S&P 500 surged nearly 3% in trade yesterday. NASDAQ jumped 3.5%, and Dow Jones Industrial Average also surged nearly 2.5% in trade yesterday. And this, remember, was the best sessions for DGIA since May last year. This rally, of course, was driven by Iran de-escalation. There are signals that perhaps both sides could be sitting on the negotiating table anytime soon, and that is the reason we saw some bit of recovery as far as US markets yesterday are concerned. Tech stocks led gains across markets. We had Nvidia. This stock was up 5.5% yesterday. Microsoft too gained over 3% in trade yesterday. But remember, despite the recovery that we saw on the last day of the financial year, March still stood out as the worst month for US equities since 2022 because of the decline that we saw earlier in the month. As far as US futures are concerned, they too are trading lower after the strong recovery that we saw in yesterday's trading session. And US President Donald Trump is now signaling that the conflict may end anytime soon, and that is the reason we saw this kind of massive recovery, especially in yesterday's trading session, and that is flowing into Asian markets today in the morning as well. Meanwhile, let's also take a look at what Asian markets are doing this morning, and it is turning out to be a sea of green as far as Asian markets are concerned. Japanese market index Nikkei, that index is trading with gains of nearly 3.8% higher for Nikkei as we speak. We have Hang Seng index, that one is holding up with gains of a solid 2% in today's trading session, 460 points higher for Hang Seng. We have Shanghai for you holding up with gains of more than 1%, and Kospi, Korean market index, has surged even more. Kospi is up more than 6% in today's trading session. So clearly, US market ended with gains yesterday on account of easing, or rather on account of signs that tensions in West Asia could be easing, and that is the reason we are seeing that impact on Asian markets today morning. Meanwhile, as far as commodity markets are concerned, they too have cooled off in trade today. Remember, Brent Crude ended at about 118 yesterday, but today it has cooled off nearly 12% as we speak, and Brent Crude is now trading at $104 per barrel. As far as commodities are concerned, gold is up 1%. It is now trading at $4,730 per ounce. Silver too has shot up more than 1% in trade today, and it is now recovered from below $70 per ounce that we saw 2 days back, and it is now trading above that $76 per ounce mark. So clearly, across the board, we are seeing signs of easing tensions in West Asia, and that is the reason US markets ended with deep recovery in trade yesterday, and that is flowing into Asian markets today as well. And a key address is expected from US President Donald Trump in Washington tonight. Donald Trump will address the nation on the Iran war at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, which means 7:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time tomorrow, with the White House calling it an important update. This comes as Trump says US forces could leave Iran within the next 2 to 3 weeks, signaling a possible wind down of operations. He also indicated that the deal with Iran may not be necessary, suggesting that the US could exit after achieving its military objectives. Meanwhile, Trump has also lashed out at the UK and France over their refusal to join military action against Iran. In a series of posts, Trump warned that the US won't be there to help you anymore, urging allies to secure their own interests, especially in the Strait of Hormuz. He also criticized France for blocking military flights and questioned Britain's stance on the conflict. US Defense Secretary also called out allies to step in. Let's go across and listen into what he had to say.
All I have to do is leave Iran, and we'll be doing that very soon, and they'll become tumbling down. And stock prices were up today almost to a record because they know two things. Number one, we have a safe country. We had to take a little detour because we had a madman named Khomeini, who sadly is no longer with us. And we had regime change already. We've knocked out one regime, then we knocked out the second regime. Now we have a group of people that are very different. They're much more reasonable, I think much less radicalized. We have had regime change. We're dealing with people that are much more rational, and it's amazing what we've done. We had to make a little detour. So when The stock market broke all records just a few weeks ago when it hit 50,000 on the Dow, 7,000 on the S&P.
Meanwhile, mixed